Hey parents, happy Teenager Tuesday. Welcome to the second episode of 2026, where we are talking about sports gambling. If we haven't met, my name is Will Perry. I'm the lead student pastor at Hope. And with me today and last week is Ian Grimm.
Ian Grimm here.
Hello.
Do I need to introduce myself again? Kids pastor, Frisco East. Dad,
yep.
Small group leader. That's
leader.
why I'm here, right?
Yeah.
For part 2 of sports gambling. And today we just want to talk about, hey, what do we as parents do?
Yeah.
Like, how do we, because this is like we talked about last week, it's everywhere. It's on our phones. What do we do?
Yeah.
And I think we were talking, before just about the idea of how do we approach any type of conversation like this with our kids, right? And I think what's important to do is to help us understand and help our kids understand that what we want to do is build a good kind of Christian ethic for any of these types of conversations.
Yeah.
Because if we're only approaching it from a situation to a situation and trying to decide, hey, was this the right decision? This one specific decision on its own? Was this the right decision? Was this the right decision? That can be exhausting, right? Because we like audit our whole life, right? But I think what's so awesome about our faith is that God in Christ actually gives us kind of an ethic as like a cornerstone, a piece of our life that then flows into those decisions.
Yeah, it's like a lens to how are you seeing the world?
Exactly. How are you seeing the world? And it's easier to have that conversation, I think. I say easier, not easier, but simpler. And it's much more effective to have that internal, that kind of cornerstone conversation to build that lens and say, okay, now this lens is going to affect everything we do. And I think that because one of the things I always want to do when I'm talking to my kids is I don't just want to be pointing out their wrongs, right? I don't want to teach them to only see their wrongs. I don't want them to even really ask, is this the wrong thing to do? I'd much rather than be asking, is this the right thing to do? Because if I'm seeking after the right thing to do, then that's ultimately going to lead me to God versus only avoiding what's wrong, because that's just reactionary.
Yeah, there's a lot more wrong decisions out there
than
the right decision.
Many more, right?
So I do like that. It's
and if we're proactively
question.
Finding the right versus reactively addressing or avoiding the wrong, then I think we'll be in a better place with raising our kids, and they'll be in a better place to make this decision when they're 22, 23, 3-year-old on their own.
Yeah, when they hit 21.
Exactly.
And they can use their own driver's license.
Exactly.
To
they can do their own
in
thing.
And out.
So that's kind of what we want to kind of help parents do.
Yeah. Which from there, we kind of want to hit just some warning signs, which probably most of these would be a no duh, but also, hey, just check in. You know, if you see something like this, check in. It doesn't necessarily mean like your 16-year-old boy has a gambling addiction, but then if you're like, I haven't mentioned it before, but maybe I'm noticing a few of these. Yeah, check in on this. Yeah,
a little bit of DGN behavior. You know what I mean? So gotta be careful for it.
Yes, and it's not just. Like, sports are addicting in the first place because they're fun. Yeah. You and I are me and Ian are in a football league together. And we're in we were in 2 fantasy leagues. We're in a basketball league together. A 5-keeper fantasy league for basketball. So, which we trade. We made a trade?
We did make a trade. We did make a trade. Yeah. And I think it's an interesting conversation, too, is what's the difference between that and gambling? Yeah. Right? Because, we're putting money in to do this.
Yeah. I would say not much.
Not much. Not much. But
that
it is an
the
interesting
reasoning. The reasoning that parents might hear their teenager say is, "Well, I'm only making $5, $10 bets." Yeah. But is there an addiction to it where, like, I've had a guy in a fantasy football league. It's a huge league for us. We do a whole draft weekend. We do off-season competitions. I made a fantasy version of the Olympics for our league to do an off-season competition. Yeah. It's a big investment, and we love that the community, like, sports connects dudes together. It can. And
girls
he
too.
Quit.
Not just dudes.
But a guy had to quit because he looked at his own life and was like, I'm thinking about it nonstop. Yeah. I'm thinking about nothing else. I'm neglecting my marriage. And he left the league because of it. And we all wanted him to. Yeah. We were like, you need the best thing is the best thing. Yeah. And what can be dangerous about $5, $10 bets early is it's like, it's not much, but then you get down and then there's a term tilt and you're on tilt, which means you're trying to win your way back. and not much because yes, and then you're in debt to your friend. You need to work to pay off the debt, and it like the small can lead to a big, and so if you're going to do anything that puts money on the line and hits any point that something might become an idol, we just have to investigate it.
Yeah. You just need to know. You just need to know.
Yes.
Right. And your friend who had to leave the league, thankfully, was an adult with the capability of making that decision.
Yes.
With other adults who were speaking into his life, right? Versus a teenager who, let's be honest, not fully developed in the brain yet to be able to make those decisions and impulse control. And they probably don't have friends who are speaking into them in positive ways a lot of time. It's going to help them do that. So, so what signs should we be watching out for?
Increased secrecy around phones and finances.
Ooh, sneaky.
If you feel like they're guarding it more and more like a dragon in a cave, don't touch my gold, don't ask me about my gold. There's probably something there. Maybe it's gambling, maybe not. But definitely something to check in on. Even stronger emotional reactions tied to sports outcomes. Look for like them cheering for specific players to hit statistics and touchdowns and they hit 300 or 279 yards passing or something, you know.
If they're worried about Cal State Fullerton baseball or something like that, you're like, wait, what?
Yeah. Even if when a game is going on and a student is invested because that's like their favorite team, if they're glued to their phone refreshing an app, they might be trying to put in best live.
Okay.
So watch for that.
Right. Yeah.
Talking, if you hear them talking, obsessing about parlays, lines, odds, that kind of thing. A sudden increase in money that has not been explained.
Ooh, got a job.
That's a good thing to or
just really good at gambling, apparently.
And a question that might, they're like, oh, my money's gone. Where's your money going?
Yeah.
That's a good time to be like, let's budget. Like, let's build your budget. This is how much money you have coming in. Like, money is a good conversation to have. The earlier, the better. Versus like way later.
So something I do, and this may seem weird, but I have a kid who has a job, and then a younger one who doesn't yet. But we put money into a Venmo account for them.
Okay.
That I track. Yeah. Just like I would anything else. So I know every purchase they make. Yeah. At least with that Venmo. Right? I mean, you can't track, if they've got cash or whatever from buddies or grandma sends them a gift card or whatever. But like, and I let them know, like, hey, this isn't, I'm not trying to like big brother you here, like invade your privacy. But as the parent, it's my responsibility to help them make sure that they're being good stewards of their money and creating good habits and stuff, right? So, like, maybe I jumped forward in that. I don't know.
No, that's good. Just, well, and a side note to that, starting next week, I'm going to do a 2-part series on privacy. Teenagers, privacy. Let's define it out, kind of work on some gray areas with that and everything. Love it. Ian, how about this? Ian, can you hit us with some biblical perspectives? Give us some good, like, parents are going to start a conversation. What are, you talked about seeing it through these lenses and values. What are some of those that parents can look at? Yeah,
well, the crazy thing is when you read the Bible, there's not much in there about the parlays for the Chicago Bears this week.
To my knowledge, there's 3 verses about gambling.
Yeah.
To my knowledge, that's it.
Yeah, and it's a lot of like casting lots and like stuff like that, which is kind of a totally different thing.
Yeah,
right?
There's an Old Testament one that says don't gamble your life away.
Yeah. Yeah. That feels like maybe broader than just money though. Right? Anyway, so we kind of go back to that biblical lens, right, to kind of build some touchstones in here. And so I think the first thing is stewardship over quick gain, right? Proverbs 13:11 says, wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it, right? When you get it hastily, you don't value it. Yeah. Right? It just kind of got dropped on you. And you're like, oh, what am I going to spend this on, right? Some new Jordans or whatever. You know what I mean? Do Supreme shirts. The kids are still wearing those. I don't know. So
quarter zips.
Quarter zips. Get my quarter zips on, right? So, so stewardship over quick gain, I think it is over there. Wisdom versus impulsivity, right? Proverbs 21:5. Right? The plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance, but everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty. Right? And these are like, Proverbs is always fun because it's like, whoa, does that always happen? Like, not always, right? But it's the principle, right? It's making sure you build that principle. And wisdom over impulsivity, I think, is one that's tough for me because as a guy, there are times I'm fairly impulsive.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, I'm trusting my gut. It's like,
how to do it.
I should probably hit pause.
Yeah.
Pray on it.
Slow down.
Yeah.
Let me seek the wisdom of God.
Yeah. With that idea of like even slowing down, there's this idea of contentment versus chasing the more.
Yeah.
You know, I think Paul really, I love the scripture that leads to.
Are you about to use a verse in context here, buddy?
I am. Philippians 4:13.
Okay.
The verses leading up to Philippians 4:13 carries this thought of, I have found the secret to life being content no matter what.
Yeah.
You know, if I have a whole lot, if I have a whole little, you know. Like,
Philippians 4 is basically about being poor.
Yes.
So it's basically it's like being okay being poor.
Yeah, and Paul's like, that's the secret to life is being content, not chasing the more.
Mm-hmm.
Not like, I want to bet, now I need to use all my winnings because I could win more.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah, which is dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely. Trusting in God and not in chance, right?
Yeah.
I mean, gambling is, you could be the smartest person in the world, sports-wise.
Oh, yeah.
Because I am.
Hell
My
yeah.
fantasy teams are terrible, bro. Nobody knows more about sports than I do, Will. And my fantasy teams are terrible, right?
Yeah.
Because it's all chance. It's all, you don't know who's going to get hurt. You don't know the referee's going to throw that flag.
Right.
Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or somebody's girlfriend broke up with them last night. Now they're having a bad game. These are human beings, right? And so there's nothing that's not to chance in that. But we can trust God.
Yeah. Yeah.
When it comes to the money, when it comes to the finances, and know that He's going to get us to where we want to be.
Yeah.
So,
Amen. And one last biblical principle, and hit it with us.
Integrity.
Hit us with it. There we go.
Integrity and honesty in handling money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the idea of helping students understand money. The earlier, the better.
Totally.
In betting apps happen on a screen and through things is, you know, like we talked about last episode, it just could build this distortion of it being like a digital component versus like something to steward. Kind of how we've talked about
something to value.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of that. I think to me that's what's crazy. And there's other things, not just sports gambling, right? That kind of affect the whole world, right? So what's the poly market thing that you were talking about?
Oh, that's right. We haven't mentioned that yet.
Yeah, real crazy real world stuff. Like,
there are, you can place bets on things that happen in the world. Like as of recording this, what is the government in Iraq?
Iran, the
Ayatollah,
in Iran, yeah.
You can bet on if they are gonna
be in power, at
the end of the month.
Yeah.
Like you're putting in these crazy bets. I saw a guy placing bets on the weather over under temperatures that are red.
Wow.
Like he was just placing
weird.
hundreds of $8 bets to like try to game the system.
Just gaming the system.
It's just like, dude, it could just distort how we see God's creation in general. And like you were talking about people, hey, these are just people.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want it to fall into this lens of like, this is how I win quick money.
Sure. And like the only value a person has to me is what they can give me or win me or, you know what I mean? Or anything in the world, right?
Yeah.
Like we lose touch with the fact that creation is God's.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we're placing bets on it. And these people are image bearers, right? And we're placing bets on sports, but you know, in real life stuff like wars and things like that the people are doing, it's like you lose touch of the reality of creation really quickly. Yeah. If you don't approach it with that biblical truth in there. So
it's true. Parents, we've already gone a little long, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to mention the 5 things, what do I do now, real quick, and then join us next week as we start talking about privacy. Number 1, start a conversation. Just ask questions. Be curious. Maybe it's not a thing for them. Maybe it is. Yeah. If it's not a thing, even better. Then they can start to bring the thing to you when it is, if it is. Number 2, set clear family expectations. If there's not an expectation that we've set, we can't be frustrated when they fill in the blank. Yeah. But if we set an expectation, that's way better. You probably already maybe do this, but monitor apps and finances. Totally. Just check in, monitor, however
Where's
you can.
your money going?
Yes. Number 4 is teach money skills early. It's just something we can teach more in the value side of it with this. And then 5, if you need help, ask us. That's it. Ask us if you need anything. Ask us if you need any help. If this did come up and you don't know what to do with it, we would love to be here for you and ask and be a resource for you as well. But with that in mind, always remember, parents, you've got this. You can do this. You're not alone. God is with you, and so are we. Have a great week.